Hello everyone and welcome back to Elon After Hours. I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down with Dean Ford, the Dean of Elon School of Communications right now. So first of all, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to be the Dean of the School of Communications? What's your day-to-day life look like?
If there's a meeting, I think I'm in it. Actually, it's been a lot of fun being dean. It's like every day is a day of discovery. One of the things I really wanted to do this semester is get to know the students, get to know the faculty and the staff, and really begin to go around the country, meet our alumni, meet some of our corporate partners. And so it's been a real year of discovery of what is Elon like and what are some things that we do really, really well and what are some things that we can begin to do even better. And so it's a lot of meetings, but it's really fun meetings where I get to learn a lot.
Right. So you mentioned some of the things that Elon does really, really well. Can I ask what some of those things might be?
We do media analytics.
Right.
So every place I've gone so far, people have been super excited about our undergraduate program in media analytics. And a lot of students don't know what that is coming into college. I mean, we know that we use Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or all these other social media. We know that we have cards that we scan to get discounts at CVS. Right. What happens with that data? How can that data be used to help marketers? Can it be used even to understand consumer behaviors? What shows do you like? You know, we watch Roku, we watch Netflix and all these things. There's data behind all of those things that we need to be able to use to make decisions about programming and how can we feed news into the different ways, whether it's on your phone or on your on the web or print or broadcast. And I think Elon is really on the cutting edge of analytics. We have an analytics center that's done in conjunction with the School of Business. We have a graduate program, a Master's of Science, that we do in conjunction with the School of Business, and you can specialize in analytics. No place else in the country can you do that. You know what the great thing is?
No,
is
I don't.
Those people get jobs and get paid.
Right,
like really, 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 really well. And so I'm excited to see what more can we do in that space, because every place I've gone, people have said Elon is an amazing growing place and that we are innovative and we're nimble and we need to be able to keep doing that. And an example of that is what we're doing in analytics.
Right, okay. So what are some of the specific ways Elon's been implementing the uses of the media analytics?
Well, our ENN, they have an analytics team that is looking at the traffic and where and when people are viewing the news that they produce. They're also using their analytic skills to do visualization of data to make it easier to tell stories. Inside Live Oak, the student-run agency, they have an analytics team that is helping with social media analytics and listening to what their clients, what audiences of their clients are saying about the brands or competition or what have you, and they're using that. We do also in the sports management department. Our sport management students have placed in the top in the nation for like 3 or 4 years in the national case study competition for sports analytics. If you look at the Center for Organizational Analytics, our students have been placing in the Haynes Brand International Case Competition and winning cash money. That's cash money.
That's a good thing.
Cash money is a good thing,
Cash
right?
money is a good thing.
Yeah. So we're doing it outside of the classroom as well as inside the classroom in the major. And so my hope is that we'll begin as a faculty to begin to make sure that every single major embeds that skill set so that we will begin to understand the business behind our industries, because it's great to be a reporter, to be, a cinematographer, what have you, but you need to know how we monetize our passion.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, most of us want to get what? Paid. Exactly. And so I want to make sure that our students, no matter what your major is, that you really have an understanding of what powers the decision making of our business, and that's analytics.
Okay, thank you. And then moving on from the strengths, so what are some of Elon's, not weaknesses, but things you think we need to work on?
Sure. I think we need to continue, again, on that idea of making sure all of our students graduate with a real understanding of how business operates. I think that some of us get it, particularly those of you involved in student media. You guys understand, how to do productions that get viewers, et cetera. But then there's other students who may not necessarily get engaged in that or take a class that introduces them to business. Maybe they don't minor in business or take any electives. I think all of our students need to know about how to operate in this gig economy.
Right.
Because at some point in your life, someone's going to say, hey, can you hook me up and do a flyer? Can you help me do a little PSA or commercial? Can you do an ad? Can you help me with this story? And again, monetizing your passions, you need to know how much to charge for that.
Right.
Because you can't keep giving away your service and your time for free. Or you may find yourself in between, jobs, or maybe you're in the film production space. You're probably going to be on contract. You're not going to be hired by a studio. Most people are not anymore. So you need to know how to manage you. How do you brand you? How do you price you? And all of that has to have that entrepreneurial spirit. So understanding the business is something that we need to improve on, but then also understanding how to work in a gig economy, no matter what your major is.
What are some tips you might have for students on how to manage, as you say, you?
So first of all, you have to think about the image that you're trying to portray. LinkedIn. Every student at Elon needs to have a LinkedIn profile. It needs to be a professional portrait of yourself. You need to talk about what you've done in student organizations, like, the show Elon After Hours. It should be on your LinkedIn page.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about projects that you've done, that you've actually been able to publicly communicate some of your class projects and things, internships that you've had, impact that you've had. How do you create what you want to become? And even if you're a journalist at this point and you don't know, make sure that when people view your LinkedIn page, that they see that you're a strong writer, a great thinker, and what are those core capabilities that you can bring to any type of organization. But then also thinking about your social media profile, thinking about what you are communicating online. There's no such thing as anonymity anymore. If you're at a party, just know that you're going to be taped. Right? Your picture is going to end up on somebody's Instagram doing something. Someone's going to find that in an employer search.
Absolutely.
So you always have to be on your A game. The only time that you can be buck wild is when you are in your closet and nobody's watching, okay? Alone. But other than that, you have to recognize that you are on. And so your social media game has to be on point as well. Having a point of view about current events, things that are happening in your industry, blogging about it, or being on Twitter and talking about it. And so that you can then also put those comments and things on LinkedIn so that people see what an amazingly smart individual you are, and that you're thinking about things that are happening in industry. That's how you begin to brand you.
Yeah, well, thank you. And then last but not least, and maybe the most important thing we'll talk about today, what are your holiday plans? Are you doing anything fun?
I am. I'm super, super excited. I'm going to have all of my kids. I have 3 kids. And so if I call students kids, that's because I have a 24-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 14-year-old. Okay. So most of y'all are the ages of my kids. So just consider you all are part of my family. So all of my children are going to be home. We're going to go up to Ohio where my oldest lives and be with my parents. And so that's going to be super exciting.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Dean Ford.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you stick around, Baylor and I are going to be playing a little game that you won't want to miss, so keep watching. Thank you so much.